Hi, I'm Jim Bridges and I'm the President of the Australian Cartoon Museum here in downtown Melbourne, Docklands, Australia. We have 7 pillars of cartooning. That's our motto here. At the end of our films we have 7 pillars in a building, and each pillar has one of the different types of the genres of cartooning. And one of the most popular is advertising. And of course we've all grown up with rice bubbles and some sort of cereal with characters, sometimes had cut-out masks, etc. But they always use cartoons, especially in advertising, because it's one of the greatest mechanisms for getting people to buy things. Having funny, big-eyed people telling a joke in a humorous sort of way, or selling something. So, okay, let's get into it. So, in Australia, Topper, which is an ice cream. These are from this book called Symbols of Australia, and it's basically done by Mimo Cozzolini and his mate Fish Rutherford, and both of them worked in advertising, and they're both interested in corporate symbols. So here you have Chesty Bond, who wore Bond's singlets. On his singlet is Redhead's matches, Bryant and May. You have Arnott's biscuits, with the symbol of the bird. In his hand you have Vegemite. Everyone knows about Vegemite, that black stuff that when your car breaks down you use it as axle grease. And he's eating a teddy bear biscuit. And these are all the symbols in the background which were in the book. This is from the book. These are all from the book. So because it's Australia, you have Billy T, of course, don't you? So you have instead of a swagman, you have a kangaroo with boots on. This guy's selling paint. Then he's got paint on his head. You've got over here, this is lemon soda, which is a type of lemonade, earlier lemonade. And of course, he's made out of lemons, lemnos. Mortine, when you're on a good thing, stick to it. They still use that after 70 or 80 years. And they used to have a dog running away because a hornet or a bee was biting it on the tail. But then now that's been taken over by Louis the Fly, as we all know. Bill Brush, British Paints. He sells paint, and he's the man who's he looks like avuncular, like the nice bloke who's going to help you paint your house. And then you have TAA, Fly It, the friendly way. And there's the plane, as simple as possible, the actual plane of TAA, the friendly way. It's a big smile on his face. And then you've got, here's Chesty himself. Chesty was actually a comic strip character where he used he'd save people, he'd take off his singlet and twist it into like a rope and save people, and so strong it wouldn't break. So you have all these, here's a cigarette ad of Kookaburras smoking cigarettes. Cigarettes were really big in advertising. And then you've got this thing again, when you're on a good thing, stick to it. This is a different company, different selling stuff. And this is Bloodline, which was during the 30s, bumper value. Sportswear, and that's during where the British players threw the ball straight at Bradman's head. They called it body line. So we've got BODE, not BODY, outline. So they've incorporated sport into advertising. And here's the strip of Bonds, the Chesty Bonds. And we'll just finish down here. Marmite is a British company that made Marmite, which is an extract made out of meat, and they wanted an Australian version. So they had a big competition. They made it, and they made it out of meat. Vegemite, because that's why it's called veggie. Ma meaning meat, So they made it a competition, and they were going to name whoever won the competition got a lot of money and stuff, and they got to call it, So someone called it Pa Will, Marmite, but Pa Will, and of course that didn't go down well with a lot of people because they thought that was a disgusting, dirty reference. So they changed it to Vegemite, and that's where Vegemite came from. And it used to come in these really strange looking jars. Okay, well, let's get up. So advertising is still used and always was. From the beginning of advertising, there was posters and they always had characters like this to grab your attention. Sonny Bill, I don't know what he was selling. It looks like a paintbrush as well. But you know, the incorporation of simple messages. And here's an ad about ties. And all of Australia wears these ties. So there's the Australian map, just to get the simple message across without much writing. Okay, well, there's another example of how advertising and cartoon works here at the Australian Cartoon Museum, all historical documents. So we'll see you next time.